Smith Notes. Let's talk about research for the scientific process.
In this section of the video, we'll learn that good research doesn't look for the final answer to the question. Instead, good research educates the researcher to develop an answer specific to their question and circumstances. Not all sources have value for our research. Each source should be evaluated to see if they are 1. Current. Current sources contain the most up-to-date information. 2. Accurate. Accurate sources contain good, factual information without bias. What is bias? Bias is a prejudice, or unfair favor, toward one point of view, usually based on the writer's individual preferences. 3. Thorough. Thorough sources have more than general information. They have enough detail for complete understanding. And 4. Relevant. Relevant sources have information related to your question. And most importantly, we will learn that using a variety of sources will give us the best research that is current, accurate, thorough, and relevant.
So Blobby, have you started your research on dating?
No, Jaquan, but I think I can find my answer on the internet.
Blobby, you are not supposed to find the answer. In fact, I don't think you can find an answer, unless you can find a website that has information specifically about you and Kaya dating.
Then why do I do research if I'm not gonna find the answer?
You do research to educate yourself about the issues surrounding your question. Then you can come up with your own educated and informed answer to your question.
Well, I still think I'll use the internet. It has good information.
Good luck with that.
You folks have done research before. What would you say is your #1 source for information?
The Internet.
That's what all my classes say, but the Internet is not perfect. Can you give me some pros and cons as they relate to the 4 characteristics of a source?
It is information about things and events happening today. I would say it's pretty current.
But some sites don't update their information. Those sites wouldn't be current at all.
To help with finding current information, some search engines allow you to specify searches based on when sites were last updated.
I saw a site the other day for the Flat Earth Society. Is that true, that the Earth is flat?
No, that is crazy.
So the Internet has both accurate and inaccurate information.
I think the Internet has quite a lot of information on just about any subject.
So, it's highly thorough, to the point of being irrelevant? You need to be smart with your search, so you get exactly what you need, without the overkill.
I'll see if our media specialist, Mrs. Smith, can post a Smith note on efficient, effective use of the Internet.
Granny Blob, I need some help. Would you mind helping me?
What do you need, Blobby?
I'm having trouble with my research on the internet. Can you help me?
Sure, sweetie. What's your problem?
My internet search returned 5.3 billion sources. I started, but I can't read all of these.
It looks like some of the sites are advertisements.
I definitely don't need those.
What about that third site? Try it.
It's asking for my personal information and credit card.
No, honey, you never want to give out any of your personal information if you're just doing research. Skip that one. What about the next one?
That one shows pictures of senior citizens. I need to know about young people dating.
Skip. What about the next one?
That one suggests I spend a lot of money on my date. I don't have a lot of money.
Blobby, you don't have to spend a lot of money on your date, sweetie. Skip that site.
I need to know how to better use the internet.
Talk to your media specialist. She can probably help way more than me.
Thanks, Granny Blob. You're the best granny I know.
The internet is a great source of information. However, it also has some problems. To best use the internet, 1. Refine searches to limit sites to what you need and can handle. 2. Don't give out private information to any websites during your research. 3. Don't waste time on sites that are advertising a service or product. And 4. Look for sites sponsored by organizations you are familiar with. Oh, make sure to check with your media specialist if you need help.
Mrs. Smith, I'm having trouble with this online encyclopedia.
Have you tried using the printed version? Some students find it easier to work with something they can hold.
I prefer the online version. I can access it on my cell phone.
Tell me what your problem is with the online version.
When I look up dating, the encyclopedia takes me to an article on geological dating of rocks and fossils. I don't want to date rocks and fossils. I want to date Kaya. I want to know about dating a girl.
Blobby, if you look further down in the dating list, you'll find an article on dating to look for a marriage partner. Let's take a look at that article.
This information looks old, Mrs. Smith. How can I tell if this information is current?
The online encyclopedia will show you its development history. Here you can see that the last major revision of this article was in 2004. They have updated links and images since then, but the bulk of the content is at least 17 years old.
This article only talks about cultures that involve looking for a marriage partner. The encyclopedia does not appear to have information on a high school student dating.
Blobby, an encyclopedia will only cover subjects in a general way. They don't get into all the specifics for a subject. They simply would not have room to do so. You will need to supplement this information with other sources.
As you can see, encyclopedias are great for accuracy and lack of bias. But, they generally contain fairly old information, and can only cover topics in a limited, general way. Use them as a foundation for your research, and build on their information with research from other sources.
Professional publications are a general category that includes articles, entire magazines, newspapers, and journals written for members of a specific profession.
How would you get one of these professional publications?
You can check with your school and public libraries.
You can also check with companies that have those professionals working for them.
You can also check online and get the publisher to send you a copy.
While professional publications are current and accurate, they are also very technical, making them more difficult to understand. They are also very specific in their articles, which can reduce their relevance for your research.
While professional publications won't provide much information to a high school student doing research, they can provide an information skeleton made of topics and keywords that students can build on from other sources.
What makes experts such a good source of information when doing research? They are the one source you can actually ask questions and guide the information gathering process. All other sources, the researcher simply follows what has been written. While experts may not be up to speed in their field or have bias to their participation in the field, if they don't know an answer to a question, they can point you to a source that will have the answer.
Blobby, family is obviously important to Kia. Be sure to include meeting her family.
That sounds like good advice. Thank you, Alicia.
Man, when I go out, I want the guy to spend a lot of money on me.
I don't have a lot of money. This doesn't sound like good advice for me.
Out to the fanciest restaurants,
Make sure you both can have a good time on the date. Not only does she want to be happy, she wants to see you enjoying your time with her. She will feel appreciated.
Denasia, that sounds like real good advice. Thank you.
I try to date as many girls as I can at a time. That makes people feel like I'm hot stuff, you know, the big man on campus.
That sounds selfish on his part. I don't think Kaya would want to go with me if that was my approach.
Blobby, girls like to feel safe when out on a date. You might think about going on a double date. You definitely want to take her to public places and get her home on time.
Doreen, that sounds like great advice. Thank you.
Some experts are good, and some are not. But even the not-so-good experts can let you know what not to do. Remember, if an expert doesn't know something, more times than not, they can guide you to a source that will answer your question.
No source of information is perfect, but the more sources you use, the more you realize what is good and what isn't. The best research uses multiple sources.
Jaquan, I did it. I completed my research on my dating problem.
That's great. How many sources of information did you find?
I used 3 internet sites, 1 article in an encyclopedia, 5 experts, and no professional journals. I really learned a lot of information.
How does that make you feel about coming up with a plan to have Kia join you on a date?
I feel great. I think I can come up with a great plan.
Now that Blobby has completed his research, he needs to collect his thoughts and develop a hypothesis. Check out the next video to find out what he comes up with. Gotta go. Bye now.